Good morning. Make sure y'all hit that support. Hit that thumbs up. Support the live. Make sure you subscribe, share my channel. Good morning, Sade. Good morning, cousin. Thank you for supporting. Make sure you subscribe to my channel if you haven't. I need all the support over here. Make sure you hit that like button. God, my allergies are crazy. Hit the thumbs up. The right now. Support. Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. I'm gonna give everybody a few minutes to get on here. Make sure y'all hit the thumbs up. That's the way you can support this live and my channel. They help me get my watch hours as well. Thank you. Good morning, Junior. Good morning. Hope everybody doing all right. I'm doing good. I'm doing real good. I haven't had coffee. I haven't stopped and bought coffee. So I'm doing good on my journey with not buying coffee. So I'm trying to save instead of spending. I have 11 people in here. I need y'all to get them thumbs up. Support. I need y'all to support the live. Support it. Hey, Val. Good morning. Y'all support this. I will be doing a lot of story time about my son, about his life before his life was taken so young from him. Thank you for the compliment. You make me smile this morning. Thank you so much. So this live will be I'll be speaking a lot about my son. His name was Angelo. Since I have 21 of you in here, I'm doing great. Thank you for asking. I need y'all to support this. I have 21 people in here. I need y'all to support this live. I will be sharing my story. I got on some big leg jeans and a top. Good morning, Cara. Good morning, Bullseye. It's something simple. When I wake up in the morning, look, I be trying to just throw something on. Y'all make sure y'all thank you for the dove. Thank you so much. I have 24 people on here. Can y'all, and if anybody can put the what it is in the chat for me, please do so. I have 24 people on here. Thank you for the hearts. Thank you all for the support. I need y'all to support this. I'm basically going to be talking a lot about my son, my oldest child. I have 22 people in here. I need y'all to hit the thumbs up. Hit the thumbs up.
It's 8:56, and I need y'all to hit that like button. I need y'all to support my live. I only have 20 minutes to start this. So I'm giving y'all to support. I have 11. Come on. I need 11 more of you. Thank you, Lorraine. Double tap. Y'all come on. I have 14 people here. Support it, please. Hi, Apostle Larry. Okay, let me get into it. Thank you all for those of you that's sharing and supporting this live this morning. As you all know, some may know, some don't know. My oldest son, my son named, this is going to be story time about Angelo leading into me losing him. So as you can see in the title, I put his birthday and I put his death date. My son Angelo, I had my first son Angelo, but let me give y'all a little back history of Angelo. When I was pregnant with Angelo, the doctors told me that I was having a girl. So the doctors told me that I was having a girl with my son. But so I went out buying all this girl stuff, and I had all the pink stuff. I was very excited knowing that I had a little girl. So my mama went out buying all this girl stuff. So lo and behold, the day of me conceiving Angelo to give birth. So when I pushed him out, the doctor said, it's a boy. I'm like, a boy? I had already had my girl name. I had everything. So, lo and behold, I see this little chubby, little round faced little baby looking at me. I'm like, oh my God. All this time I'm thinking I'm having a girl, but I had a boy. And Angelo was my boy. And I had him. Angelo was this beautiful little round little red baby, beautiful little baby with the little beady eyes and with the little black straight hair, and this little cute little baby just looking at me, a little chunky little baby. Um, so when Angelo was a baby, Angelo couldn't drink formula. Angelo was like a very sensitive baby, so I knew it was something special about him. He was real special. So Angelo couldn't drink formula. He couldn't drink baby milk. So I don't know if y'all ever heard of goat milk. When I tell y'all, the doctors did everything. My baby was so small, y'all. He was in the hospital. The doctors were doing everything, like all type of milk. He was on all type of special milks and things like that. I was young, new mom, didn't know what to do. And my mom, she was like, bring that baby to me. Bring my grandbaby to me. I'm going to nourish him back to health. So my mom got my baby. She was like, I got him. He going to be okay. And my mom put my son on goat milk and Karo syrup. So my family used to be having a fit. They was like, that milk stink. That milk stink. I'm like, look, this milk got my baby where he need to be. But yes, Angelo was on goat milk and Karo syrup. When I tell y'all, when I seen my baby, I couldn't even recognize him. My mama had to nourish my baby back to health. We gave him like the little vitamins and things that he needed. But that just like a little, just give you something to know how special that he was to me. Angelo was a very lovable baby. Everybody loved him. I didn't never have a problem with never had a problem with nobody want to babysit him. I had an uncle who had daughters. They was like, pack his bags and bring him to me. When I tell y'all, when the weekends came, never had a problem with a babysitter. Everybody loved the Angelo. And when he was growing up and when he finally started walking, the first thing he picked up was a broom and a cell phone. And my mom was a hairdresser. And Angelo, you used to see this little bitty boy with a broom in his hand with a cell phone with his little diaper drooping. And he used to be sweeping. He used to love to sweep. Love to sweep. He was very clean. Love to sweep. And he used to sweep and had his little cell phone. But that's just some little things that I can remember how special Angelo was, because when growing up, he was clean and he loved the phone, fall asleep with phones and all of that. But as time grew up, Angelo was a very respectful young man. The way I raised him, I didn't allow him to, hang on the corners, hanging out. I didn't allow him to hang with the older friends that was out there on the streets. I didn't allow him to do those things because I wanted to shield him, protect him, and let him know that he's going to be a productive young man. He's going to work. Anytime I see him with his friends, they'll be like, there go your mama. If I see him hanging on the corners, I would jump out my car and fuss at him, jack him up, and put him in the car. So a lot of things I protected my son from. I didn't allow him to do certain things. I didn't allow him to be everywhere. I didn't, to each his own. I didn't allow him to put the little weapon in his hand. And I know I'm not judging anyone, or, this is just what I did for my son. I didn't buy him like water, the little water hand things that you put in your hand and the water squirts. I didn't put that in his hand. I didn't allow him to do certain things that I felt like would come back and that he would have to, pay for it later, because you reap what you sow. So I raised him to be a very respectful young man. And when I tell you, I had 2 daughters and he adored his sisters. He adored his sisters. When I tell you, he was a mama's boy. He loved it, me. I have a few, when he turned 18, no, I think it was like 17, 16 to 17, he got his first job. This is a ring. This is my first ring that my son bought for me. This is a ring that he bought for me for my birthday when he got his first job. I have this ring, and I also have a tennis bracelet that I don't wear because I'm afraid of losing it. So I have this ring and I have a tennis bracelet. Remember, everybody used to wear the tennis bracelets back in the days. So he bought me a tennis bracelet with his job when he got his first little check. So he was real excited to buy me things. So these are 2. I have a ring and I have a tennis bracelet that my son bought me, and I'm really afraid of. I really don't wear the bracelet because I don't want to lose it, because that's the only thing that I really have sentimental, that something that I know he physically touched and he bought it for me. So yeah, Angelo was loved by everybody. Like, the community loved him. He did a lot of things, like my grandmama. He always would go to our elderly grandma's house. That's the apartment where he was last taken, at my grandma's house. But I'll get more into that. I just want to give y'all just a little something about him so y'all can really know. So y'all can, like, when I tell y'all the story, y'all gonna, like, y'all knew Angelo y'all self. But Angelo, like I said, he was very, very, very respectful, very kind young man. I don't know what's going on up here. Please. Now, the day I come this way, it's an accident. Oh, that's to fatten the babies up. So, like I said, that's just a little something that he was. Growing up, when he got older, y'all, Angelo, when he finally learned how to drive, Angelo had 2 younger sisters that he would sneak out the house and he would tell them, oh, don't tell mama. So this particular time, he stole my car. He took my car, baby. Y'all already know how this is. Good morning, everybody. So, but other than taking my car and just trying to sneak and be with girls, that's basically what his thing. When I tell y'all he was a ladies type of guy, all the girls. Angelo had so many friends, and they was majority girls. I'm like, all these girls, and I'm talking about so many friends. He had a lots of friends, so it was devastating to everybody. But as time went on, I'm just speeding y'all up. I'm just giving y'all, a little story time about Angelo. As time went on, Angelo was about I think like 17, I think. Yeah, I think he was 16. I can't remember the exact date, but I got a journal that I wrote it down. Well, Angelo ended up going to Georgia. He wanted to go to Georgia. And back then, it was like around, like, in the era of 2000, around that era, it was a lot of people being unalive in our community. Every time you look around, somebody child was, being like life was taken. Like every time you look around, it was a shooting. Something happened. Somebody don't got killed. And I'm like, oh my God, it was just a lot. So as time progressed and I remember this one time we went into the store, and like a lot of times like families and stuff, when they don't have money and things like that, um when they don't have money and stuff like that, they have to raise money. So I remember this one particular time I went in this store, and it was a jar on the counter, and my son and my girls, we were in the store, and my son, he was like, Mom, and I was like, huh? He just out of nowhere, and he was like, Mom, and I was like, yeah. He was like, Mama, if I was to DIE, he say, you'll promise me that my face won't be on no jar? And I was like, what? And he was like, Mama, no. He was like, you'll promise me if I was the DIE that my face won't be on no jar? Like, as he's saying these things to me, I don't know, as time going on, that I don't know this going on, but there were so many signs, but I didn't see the signs prior to him just saying certain things to me. And I was like, well, what are you talking about? And he was like, no, Mom, you see how this person face on the jar and they family struggling to bury them? He was like, no, Mama, if I was to DIE, Mama, you'll promise me that my face won't be on no jar. And I say, yeah, Angelo, I say, your face won't be on no jar. He said, Mama, I don't want my face on no jar. And Mama, I don't want you struggling trying to bury me. So, me as a young mama, I'm going through life, I'm just going through life like, okay, like, how when your kids say things to you, you be like, all right, all right. You try to brush it off and act like, okay, it's just something he's saying or whatever. So I kind of like brushed it off like, yeah, Angelo, your face ain't gonna be on no job. And okay, that was that. So, as time went on, as he was getting older, and like I said, it was a lot of people being unalived in our community and things like that. So, as Angelo, he was in high school. So, I had an uncle that stayed in Atlanta, Georgia. So, my son, he wanted to go live with my uncle. So, I was like, okay, Angelo, I'm gonna, and I'm like, all this stuff going on, I don't want my son to be around them. I would prefer him to go to Atlanta, Georgia, so my son can just, I'm thinking, he could see things different. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna give my uncle, the say so over him, so my son can see something different. We from the city, but I want him to see something different, that it's more to life than what he see around here. And if this what he want to, go to Atlanta, I allow him to go to Atlanta, Georgia. So when my son went to Atlanta, Georgia, he experienced a lot when he was in Atlanta. And then next thing you know, my son was like about a year and a half in. And I'm like, he wanted to come back home. And I'm like, oh, let me back up. I gave him a birthday party too, y'all. When he went to Atlanta, Georgia, I did a going away party. All his friends and everybody, we did a going away party for him. I did that for him when he went to Atlanta, Georgia. So he went to Atlanta, Georgia for maybe like a year and a half. And then he ended up coming back. I do have a timeline, but I just, off my head, I can't remember everything. But maybe like maybe in 2004 or 5. But he went to Atlanta, Georgia for maybe like a year and a half. He ended up coming back. So when he came back from Atlanta, all these weird things went to going on. So a lot of stuff went to going on. So I'm kind of speeding y'all up. So I'm like, I'm going to church and things like that. So this one day, my son, I was in the house, and he came to me. He was like, and hear me, y'all. He never showed any signs of being afraid or scared or anything. So this one particular day, I was in the house, and my son, he came up to me. He said, Mom. And I was like, what, Angelo? Because Angelo is a jokester. He always like to joke and play and all that. He was like, Mom. And I was like, what, boy? He said, Mom, I had a dream, Mama. I said, you had a dream? He said, yeah, mama, I had a dream. He said, mama, I had a dream that these guys came and they was shooting mama, and they unalived Marcus, mama, and I was there. I said, you was there? He was like, yeah, mama, I was there. He said, mama, after they unalived Marcus, mama, they unalived me too. I say, what? He said, yeah, mama. He said, I seen it, mama. So me, I'm like, okay, y'all. I'm like, what in the world is this boy talking about? And I say, what? So now he's telling me he's having this, after he came back from Atlanta, Georgia, all this weird, crazy stuff going on with him. Now he's having all these dreams, and he's telling me all these dreams that he's having, and telling me that these people's gonna do something to our little cousin, and he was there. And after they did, cause he seen them, he was like, mama, I didn't see their face, but he went to giving description of what he seen in the dream. He went to describing the guys. He was like telling me that they had dreads and they had dreadlocks. He said they dreads was over their face. So he's describing what's going on. He's describing the people that was there and who came to harm my little cousin when he was there. So he actually had the dream. So me as a mom, me still not thinking nothing of anything, like, okay, Angelo, well, what we're going to do, we're going to continue to keep praying. I said, well, Angelo, you just continue to keep praying, and we're going to continue to keep, make sure God protects you. And so me as a mama, like in church, like I'm like a prayer warrior. I'm like, Lord, I don't know what's going on. When I tell y'all, I was like, I'm talking about just praying and asking God to just keep my son, keep him covered. And like I said, my son never hung in the streets. He never was a street kid. He didn't hang out with anybody. He always was kind to people. He treated people right. He never really had I'm not gonna say he was a perfect kid, but he rarely even had an enemy. He probably had a fight, maybe one or two fights, just kids in the neighborhood, just being kids. But other than that, just having enemies, he never had that. So, as time going on and we live in life, and months going by, and I could see changes in my son. Now my son is getting to the place where he's being disrespectful to me. And I'm like, what the heck is going on? Like, Angelo, what is your problem? Like, you being very disrespectful. Like, my son was like, he was acting a way that he shouldn't be acting. And I'm like, you becoming somebody, I don't know who he is. But the whole time, as I'm seeing changes in my son, I don't understand that my kid is in spiritual warfare. I don't know that my baby is in spiritual warfare. I don't know that it's a war going on with God and with Satan, that a war is going on for my son's soul. I don't know this. I just know a lot of stuff going on, and I see a lot of changes, and I'm not really understanding what's going on, but all the signs is there, but I'm not really understanding the signs and why all this stuff is happening. And I'm like, I'm seeing so much different in my baby. So as time, like I said, this part one, y'all, because I might not be able to finish this because I'm not trying to finish it. But as time go on, I'm seeing all these changes. My son just doing stuff and talking back. And I'm like, wait a minute. Like, I don't know what you going through, but you need to stop it. So something he had did. So he called himself running away or something. He called himself running away. Like, my son 17, came back from Atlanta, Georgia 17. I'm like, I don't know what done got into this kid, but my baby had never did any of this stuff that he's doing. But like I said, I don't know that it's a spiritual war going on in his members, in him. But I'm like arguing and fussing and getting on my girls, like, don't y'all let y'all brother take y'all nowhere, and XYZ, and it was just a whole lot, y'all. So I remember this one day, I was getting on him. He had did something. So I was getting on him. He was in this car. His daddy went and bought him a car. And I'm like, Angelo, you don't have no driver's license. Look, y'all, the boy knew how to drive. The boy knew how to drive, but the boy didn't have no driver's license, okay? So this particular day, I'm getting on him. Angelo, you can't be driving. You cannot be driving. Oh, let me back up, y'all. Let me tell y'all about this part right here. I ain't tell y'all about this part right here. Hold on, I'm gonna get back to that. So let me tell y'all about this part. This funny right here. So when I was telling y'all about how he took my car. So I remember this one particular time, Angelo took my car, right? So I'm like, Angelo, where you at? Where you at? You know you ain't got driver's like, where you at? So I'm always fussing at him because he took my car. So why I called 911 on my son, y'all? I'm telling y'all, I was a very overprotective mom. When I tell y'all I did it by the book, I didn't sugarcoat that. I didn't uphold my son and nothing. So I called 911. I said, look, my son don't took my car. And I'm letting y'all know he took my car. And when he get back, y'all gonna need the paramedics for him, and y'all gonna need the police for me. So the lady was like, ma'am, you can't be saying that. You can't say that. I say, listen to what I'm saying. And again, I'm calling y'all because my son don't have a driver's license. And if he go out there and hurt somebody, guess what? I'm not going to be responsible. So if you get here, I might be calling y'all back. And if you catch him, I'm letting you know I gave him a tag number and everything. Like I said, he wasn't no bad kid, but he was just being the average boy. He did boy things. But I made sure I didn't sugarcoat him. And I did everything by the book with him to make sure he didn't get caught up, just doing crazy stuff. So child, by this time, he don't made it to the house. And when he got to the house, I was standing in the door. I say, Angelo, you better get in this house because I'm finna tear your tail up. He wasn't coming out, y'all. He was making me so mad. So I was standing at the door and he was standing on the carport. I don't know where I got the superpower from, y'all, but I had a water bottle. I said, Angelo, I'm going to count to 3. And if you don't get in here, I'm going to knock you out. I don't know where I got the superpower of a mama from. Y'all, I threw that water bottle and it bopped beside it. He took off running. Girl, I got in my car, put him on a high speed chase and everything. I said, if you don't get your butt in this car, don't stop. You don't took my car, you out here. So like them just like some things like Angelo have done, you know what I'm saying, as being a particular boy, just doing boy stuff. So, like I said, but it's another part that I was gonna talk about, but I'm gonna hold that part tomorrow. But I had to back myself up to tell y'all about that part right there. But tomorrow will be more about going into, like I said, when he was more like going through the spiritual warfare and things like that, leading up to the incident with the spiritual warfare, where the enemy, a lot of times when our children going through a lot, that'll be part 2 with the spiritual warfare. A lot of times our kids do. Make sure you listen. Not saying that nothing like this would happen to you, but this just my story. But a lot of times our kids, they come to us, they tell us things, they talk to us. But continue to keep them covered. And no matter what the outcome, God is still God, no matter what. But that is part 1 that y'all might have to hit replay. Make sure y'all share. I'm just sharing about Angelo, his life, leading up to me losing him. So I just want to share some things. But I will be talking about part 2. And I will be going more into like spiritual warfare. But I do have my books and things like that, and I have a better timeline. It's almost like he had discernment. Yes, he did. He did. Yep, he did. So I'm gonna get into it, y'all, and I'm gonna tell y'all more about him, like things that he's seen, how the reason why I probably handled my situation the way I do, because God was with me, and I didn't realize. I know God is with me, and I know the word say He'll never leave me nor forsake me. But I'm gonna share my story with you all, and I'm gonna give y'all more of my story, about my son, my life, about the insurance, how I didn't have insurance. So I'm gonna get more into all of that, how God orchestrated everything leading up to me losing Angelo. So I love you all. I thank you all for listening. I thank you all for hearing my story. If you all would know anybody would, recommend them that lost someone, where they can hear my journey. Maybe somebody is struggling and don't know how to go through life when they losing a child, and know my story is not their story, but just my strength and me going through. It's been 18 and a half years for me with my son. It's almost 19 years a day after his 18th birthday. But if you feel like my story, me telling my story, can be helpful to someone, make sure y'all share this and tell them to join my live, while I'll be telling my story about my life and about my son. All right, I love you all. I'm not kind of, but I'm late. There was a lot of traffic on the road this morning. But I appreciate you all, and we'll do part 2 tomorrow. All right. Love you all. Y'all have a blessed one, and thanks for joining.